Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the miniseries, where we pick 5 films thematically related to the movie we are talking about this week. And this week we are talking about the controversial episode of Movie Memory Machine on The Boys in the Boat. I am your host, Landen Solano, taking full responsibility for that controversy. Joined always by my co-host, Truman Caps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's good to be seen. When you say a controversial episode, is it mainly because you feel conflicted in your own head about how hard you went on this movie?
Yes.
Or like, okay, so it's not like people have been writing letters to us about the fact that you specifically, hated this movie more than any other movie you've seen in your life.
That's correct. Yes, it's completely my insecurities claiming that it's a controversy.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, and I blow stuff up in my head as well, also. But I am excited to see what movies you, the world's foremost hater of The Boys in the Boat, related to The Boys in the Boat.
Yeah, so just a preface again, this is not necessarily recommendations. These are just 5 films that are thematically related, that influenced or were influenced by The Boys in the Boat. So with that preface fully in place, let's go on to our first film.
Okay. Well, Chariots of Fire, kind of, I feel like the template for so many old-timey sports movies about about going to the Olympics in the 30s.
Period piece Olympic movies, yes.
Period piece Olympic movies about a bunch of dudes. Am I still on track?
Yes, a bunch of British dudes. Well, no, I guess Boys in the Boat is definitely American, but it's a British sport.
The dudes feel like honorary Brits because of all the rowing that they're doing.
Here's a question I have for you. I think it has been pretty concretely, the question has been concretely asked, has there been anyone in the history of time to actually watch the movie out of Africa? I posit, has there been anyone in the history of time to have actually watched the movie Chariots of Fire?
Well, I've definitely been covering for the fact that I haven't seen the movie, but in my defense, it's a sports movie, so I don't really want to. And about running, another thing I don't like doing. So I haven't seen this. I just mainly know the famous scene. I know the Vangelis score, and I know that the movie was produced by Dodi Al-Fayed, who would later go on to date Princess Diana. Because I watched The Crown on Netflix. Have you seen The Chariots of the Fire?
I have pressed play on this, and the images ran across my screen, pun intended. That's it. It did not imprint on me. I do not really remember it. It was not emotionally resonant with me. I couldn't tell you much about this movie, except it's so British. It's so British.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. It's just an observation.
So it's all very stiff upper lip. We've got, chaps, we'd better keep on running while this electronic music plays in the background.
It's a great score, I'll give it that. But yeah, this is just like, and the weird thing about The Boys in the Boat is I feel like this is maybe the best version of that you could tell, and it's still like completely uninteresting to me.
Wow, we are taking down even more sports movies on this episode. Okay. I mean, look, I definitely feel. Yeah, I mean, since the Boys in the Boat feels so much like just a copy of a copy of a copy, and this thing that it's copying was fairly bland in the first place. I mean, it stands to reason that it would be just even less affecting.
Absolutely. And in fact, let's move on to our next film.
Yeah, Race, the Jesse Owens movie, which factored pretty heavily in our discussion.
Yes, a movie that has at least the balls to put the Nazi flags on the cover.
I was gonna say, and do you think those are real Nazi flags or CGI Nazi flags?
Yeah, they're probably CGI, but at least they're not shying away from any of the thematic elements of what the fuck was going on in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. I'm not going to go to that dark place again, I promise you.
Yeah. This is a story with just like very clear conflict. You've got a black runner who is an excellent athlete who is already facing plenty of discrimination at home, and then goes into possibly the worst possible environment to be a black guy who's good at something, or a black guy in general, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have, like, the fact that there aren't many Jesse Owens movies out there is frustrating to me. And if I could replace this 5-4 selection with just a slew of YouTube clips of Jesse Owens interviews, which were pretty rare. There's a documentary about him going back to Berlin, like revisiting the area like years afterward. Like, wow. Go seek out all that shit. But if you are into like sports biopics, you know, definitely see Race over Boys in the Boat.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just, because again, it's like something with Chariots of Fire or The Boys in the Boat. It's like ultimately the story there is just these boys did really good at a sport. Race is certainly a movie about him being really good at a sport, but there is just so much other context about his life, the historical struggle, how he, like the role he played in history. It's automatically a more interesting story because there is multiple layers of conflict to it, as opposed to the basic layer of conflict of, are we going to run/row faster than the other boys?
Yes, absolutely. And I didn't say it on the main episode, and I just want to call it out now. Stephan James playing Jesse Owens puts in, you know, a great performance. The watchable nature of this movie falls entirely, you know, on his shoulders. And yeah, I think he does a great job.
Excellent. Well, Race, go for it.
So, I'm going to move on. I'm going to bookend one recommendation with two more fun ones. So let's go to this one first.
A League of Their Own. The classic, you're watching TNT, or moreover, your mom is watching TNT and choosing what we're going to watch. And and she chooses this, and you're not mad about it because it's still a funny movie. This has been Truman reflecting on his childhood corner. Landon, please start talking.
I saw this movie in the theater, and it just I know, imprinted on me. I was, I think, 10, 11 years old, I think, when this came out, and it just was, I don't know, it hit me in the right place. And then, as you said, TBS, TNT, it's just playing, HBO, Showtime. Like, it's on for my entire adolescence. It's on for my entire early childhood and adulthood. And this is just a damn good movie. Top to bottom. You know, is it one of the all-time greats? I don't know. But, like, there's not really a fault in it. It, for what it is, the story it tells, it's just Penny Marshall's direction, all of the performances. This has what The Boys in the Boat lacks, which is identifiable characters with identifiable problems, even for those who aren't leads.
Yes. Every character in this stands out. Every character kind of has their own thing, even if they don't have a huge number of lines or a whole lot of screen time. Every character has a personality. The way they all come together as a team really hits and is exciting and impactful. And it's funny. It's just funny.
It is. Yeah. To go, I don't know, to like be able to take a real thing and have some fun with it without completely being anachronistic with it. Like, Tom Hanks puts in a performance that's a lot of fun to watch. I don't know how true to the real guy that is, but it also doesn't feel like it's betraying the sort of, you know, homage to this, you know, the actual league that was, you know, happening during World War II. John Lovitz in this movie, this is kind of my first exposure as a child to John Lovitz. He's not in that much of the movie, but he gets so many bangers in there. He's got the line about going home and giving his wife a pickle tickle, which is
both, spine-tinglingly horrible and also impossible to forget. He says, the train moves and the station stays here. And then he also, there's the scene where he's on their farm talking to the main characters at the beginning, and this cow keeps mooing in the background, and seemingly improvised, he just turns to the cow and just yells, "Will you shut up?" And that is a moment that has lived in my head forever. And whenever I am in a wildlife setting and an animal is being very loud, I kind of have that happen. It just, I think, speaks to like how everything on set was working. That this guy who was there for just a couple days playing a bit part could like flourish and grow and do so much with it, and it just like contributes so beautifully to this great movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd be surprised if there's someone who hasn't seen A League of Their Own. But if you haven't, definitely go check that out. Maybe 5 times before you watch Boys in the Boat.
Yeah, watch it 5 times and have some of those times be kind of like you start in the middle or you start at the beginning and then you have to go do something else. Youths listening to this, I can't explain to you the TBS TNT experience. You just have to recreate it for yourself.
All right. I was saying I'm bookending a recommendation that comes with a full-on hardcore caveat.
Okay.
And it's a twofer. And that is...
All right. Oh, Olympia Part 1, directed by Leni Riefenstahl. And wait, a note here. Landon Solano fully endorses all of the views and opinions espoused by Leni Riefenstahl. And Olympia Part 2, Festival of Beauty, and another subtitle, Landon Solano thinks that everything Leni Riefenstahl stood for is good? What?
How do you respond to that? How do you respond to that? I can't respond to that, Truman.
What did you think was going to happen when you not only gave me 2 Leni Riefenstahl movies but also seemed nervous about recommending Leni Riefenstahl movies? I gotta go with that.
Okay, I'm gonna take umbrage. I'm not recommending. I am pointing out the thematic relation of these movies to The Boys in the Boat.
Oh, wait, no, I see another subtitle here. Landon Solano has gone on record as saying he thinks Leni Riefenstahl was a shitty person and should not be forgiven for her involvement as Hitler's documentary lady. There, is that good? Can we just talk about the movies now?
Yes. Now, listen, these are incredible historical documents and should only be looked at as such. She is a very powerful filmmaker, and the opening sequence to Olympia Part 1, where it's basically like the opening ceremony where it's the baton, the running. What was the like decathlon? What was the sport or whatever that the baton person had to run and the torchbearer had to run before lighting the official torch?
I
like
wasn't
back
aware.
in ancient Greece.
Oh, I wasn't aware that the torchbearer had to actually do a sport back in the day. I thought, wow, they don't get to just run around carrying the fire. They have to do something in addition to that.
Well, this is where the deep propaganda sets in, where it's like from frame 1, from sequence 1, this is trying to connect the new Germany to the like the great empires of old, and so she does this sequence that is like when the Olympics were first started, the torchbearer, and go look this up because I'm not like, I don't know this for sure, but I know this in vague brushstrokes. The torchbearer would like run through villages for days and days and days before getting to the Parthenon or wherever the fuck it was to light the torch to begin the ceremonies. And this is kind of doing a depiction of that, where the German torchbearer is running through not only different villages, but running through time and running through ancient Greece and running through, the ruins of old Germany and into new Germany, and then lighting the torch. And you've got it's so expressionistic and all these like symbols going through there. And then it ends with like the Nazi eagle. And it's at once like jaw-droppingly technical achievement, and on the other hand, it's like, oh my fucking god, you are going to such great lengths for this propaganda.
So sort of both a documentary, but at the same time a horror film, knowing what we know now.
Yes. Yeah, and that's this whole like 2-part documentary is that like it's documenting reality, but like the banality of it is just like it's just a, you know, like any other sports documentary, you're just panning through, you know, the audience watching everything, but then like it ends on a shot of the Nazi flag and it's like, oh, okay. Just that, and this is real. This is a real thing, and it's the only footage I believe that was taken during the Berlin Olympics. Like they were so stringent about how it was being depicted that Leni Riefenstahl is the only person that was allowed to film there.
It is almost breaking my brain as a citizen of the 21st century to think of a major international sporting event where there is only one source of film footage of it, and no one else was allowed to take films. I get it. It was the 30s. It was hard to have a movie camera, but just the idea that no one in the crowd was able to get any footage. The only moving images we have of this were shot by this lady.
Which makes it such a controversial thing because it's like such an important document and the only document we have of the 1936 Olympics, but it's all shot through a Nazi propaganda lens.
How are the boat boys sequences in these movies?
Yeah, so that's the tie that we need to do here, and I mentioned it on the main episode. There was a moment she was constantly in conversation and arguments with Joseph Goebbels to get more resources, and like she had a vision for this film, and he was constantly like, no, we're not giving you any more. You don't get another camera. You're not going to put your camera in position there. When you get to the boat boy sequence, she was like, full on, this is my vision. This is what I'm doing by any means necessary. And she was like, I can't be in the boats during the race, but I need to be in the boats for this movie. She got the rowing teams of these, of Nazi Germany, of America, and recreated it after the fact so that she could put the camera in the boat and get the close-ups of the boat boys rowing. And America, agreed to it. They recreated it. And those shots that she got inside the boat are the exact shots that George Clooney takes verbatim and uses in the Boat Boys.
Wow, imagine that you have just pushed your body to the absolute limit to win a rowing competition, and then this Nazi lady comes up to you and is like, da, can we do... Da is not, that's Russian, whatever. She's like, oh, can we get one more? Can we just get another one so I can get the close-up shot? Like, that's got to be brutal.
Yeah. So if you have a morbid fascination with American history, with world history, with World War II history, like these are worth just kind of skimming through if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But they're fascinating and terrifying all at once.
Yeah. Watch them at 1.5 speed and shake your head at 1.5 speed every time there's a swastika on screen, because that shit sucks.
All right, here's our final bookend to this. I said I'd end on a happier note, and here's my last recommendation.
Yes, Cool Runnings. Yes, you said that Cool Runnings is the best version of the Boat Boys.
And I don't know if I stand by that. It's a fun version of the Boat Boys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I think I may have said this on the main episode. John Candy could have fixed the boys in the boat.
John Candy could fix a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, look, honestly, I don't think I've seen Cool Runnings since I was a child, so I haven't got much to say about Cool Runnings other than, like, I have nothing but fond memories.
Yeah, it's one of these films that I don't know. I mean, I'm not the person to say one way or the other, but some of the kind of racial underpinnings of it being a Disney film and like how far can they go in that direction, like there might be a little bit of like cock your eyebrow at it isms to it, but its heart is so in the right place. It's a fun movie. It's on a story level and a character level, like does everything that the Boat Boys does not. I care for all four of these guys. John Candy is just the coach that I would love to have. It's triumphant. You want to stand on your feet at the end of the film when they, all crash and burn and carry their toboggan to the finish line. Like, it's So good. It does so much better what Boat Boys could never do.
Ah, man. Hey, look, cool story, bro. I fully agree, and I should watch this one with adult eyes, because I am ready for a team-based Olympics movie that actually has something to chew on that I can actually enjoy.
Yeah. And, the baseline, it has John Candy in it, so you can't go wrong there.
I mean, look, I can just look at John Candy and get all misty and think about, hey, what if he was my uncle? Do you think he'd be proud of me? What if he was my Uncle Buck?
Well, let's think about that until we bring everyone back for the next episode. For Truman Caps, I've been Landen Solano.
And for Landen Solano, I've been Truman Caps. Just keep rowing.
Goodbye.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit MovieMemoryMachine.com.